Get your horror figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description. Horror, kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, and welcome to another Evil Dead review. This time we're going way back to one of the original movies, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. And we're going to be taking a look at one of the first Ultimate figures in the Evil Dead lineup from NECA. We're going to be taking a look at NECA's Ultimate Ash from Evil Dead 2, which is pretty neat because I got to meet the special effects director for the movie, so the movie holds a special place in my heart. Yeah. Shout out to Tom Sullivan, he's pretty awesome. Anyway, for this figure, it's pretty interesting. This was originally released back in 2016 when NECA was still getting their footing for the Ultimates figures that they were doing. And this is basically a conglomeration of the different accessories for all of the old Ash Williams figures that they did. And they just updated the articulation as well. No more V-cut hips, they actually put effort into them. At the end of 2020, there were a limited amount available for order for a reissue, which is now available in 2021. And that is what I'm going to be reviewing today, the newest reissue. So we've had a few years since the original was released, so let's take a look to see whether or not the reissue here is worth adding into your collection. So as I did make mention, this is going to be the reissue of the most recent issuance of the figure. So I don't have the original. The last time that I saw the original was actually right before I had the chance to have it signed by Mr. Sullivan. And I didn't. Which, quick plug, he is an awesome guy. If you have a chance to see him at a convention, go. You're not going to regret it. He's got a ton of cool stuff, but enough about him. Let's talk about the figure. So I don't have the OG for a comparison. Can only talk about the reissue, which NECA, from what I've been able to see, did a really good job with updating the paint application for the modern day. And it may not seem like they did a whole lot of new stuff at just a quick glance, but they did. You see, NECA and some other companies have been experimenting with dot matrix printing. And again, at a glance from far away, you're not really going to notice this. However, up close and personal, pretty much all of the blood stains on Ash, so that's going to be all over his head, which it does actually look very good. I'm not particularly fond of this head sculpt for Ash. I don't really think it captures Bruce's likeness too well, but hey, it does get the job done. All of the paint apps for the blood, it does appear to have that dot matrix printing upon macro photography, so that's pretty unique there. And on that note, for the head sculpt, his hair is nice, jet black, very slick, and the eyes definitely do look very bugged out. Teeth paint, very good. Got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow that we'll see better in the Hero Ash version, but anyway, yeah, the head pretty much overall looks good. Moving on down to the main body, we do have some, dirt and grime and what looks like oil that is sort of dry brushed on, and that looks like traditional paint. But if we take a look at the little stump that he has there, yes, we do have the cloth, which is, duct taped on, not actual duct tape, but the actual detailing there, that under macro photography, again, does have that dot matrix printing. So yeah, NECA kind of went hog wild there. Moving on down throughout the rest of the body, we do have the belt, which doesn't really look like there was really any paint applied specifically for the belt. It's just the main color of the pants, except for the buckle, which is silver. We do have the shredded left portion of the shin area there. So yeah, there we go. And then the boots, which basically blend into the pants. So yeah, it can be hard to differentiate, but hey, it is actually a different color, which has some pretty good detailing as well. Overall, I would say Ash does look good and actually does utilize some modern day techniques. Articulation for Ash. So this figure actually came out originally back when NECA first kickstarted their Ultimates line in that time frame. When the OG Freddy came out. And this, you don't move too well. So Ash here, yeah, it kind of follows the same vein. So let's talk about it. So head plugs in on a peg, so we get swivel movement at the neck. but that peg sits in the body on a ball joint so we can rock and move and all that fun stuff. So we actually do get some good movement for the head. So Ash is going to be able to look in all sorts of different directions with that oh crap face that he's got. So that's just fine enough. For the shoulders, we do have swivel hinge combos, so this way they can spin around like that. The shirt does sort of breach off a little bit for the shoulders, so you'd think that that's going to block the articulation a little bit, but actually it really doesn't. But do keep in mind that it's sort of a softer rubbery-ish plastic, so don't force it too much over time. I could imagine that if you're really rough with it, a decade or two down the line, that may cause it to crack, but it should be fine. He can T-pose. There you go. Elbows, we are going to have swivel hinge combos, so they can spin around. Not double hinge, which I do understand that this was, many, many moons ago when they actually introduced this, but considering this is a reissue for the current year, and they have pretty much mastered the double hinge elbow at this point, it would have been appreciated if they could have gone back and re-engineered this just a little bit. That would have been good. For the wrists, it's going to be also this way for the alternate forearm part, which we'll see in a little bit. Ball joints. Pretty basic and straightforward. Nothing really to write home about. There you go. Do we have anything in the torso here? Well, we do have a sculpt underneath and a ball jointed waist. So maybe there's something there, but because of the shirt and me not being able to move anything, I can't really see anything, and I can't get it to move. But yes, we do have a ball jointed waist. Mine just loves to pop off. It's been like that since day one. And actually, on this guy, in general, I didn't have to use any heat to get any of the joints to move, so that was pretty good. Legs, we're using the old style NECA swivel hinge combo here. So when we spread the legs very far, for whatever reason, that pops that off. So that's about how far out he's doing the splits. And yeah, unfortunately, I can't really show an accurate forward and back range because it forces the torso to pop off. Let me borrow Hero Ash here because he's using the same engineering. So you can see normally that's about how far forward and back he would get. So they share, again, the same engineering, and you can check out his review, which will be going up tomorrow after this one. We do have dedicated thigh swivels, which is pretty good. And single hinge knees, which do also have a swivel. And then we do also have ball jointed ankles, which feature rotation back and forth along with that ankle rocker movement. So yeah, the articulation in 2021 compared to back when this was originally released is a bit antiquated, so to speak. And it's kind of upsetting because they've taken some other releases like the Rhino Alien in their Kenner Tribute line, and they've updated the articulation, which is arguably, they only updated it about a year apart from when it was released to the reissue that they did. But still, it would have been nice if they could have improved in some spots like double jointed knees. But c'est la vie. I guess you can only do what you can do. Movement overall, it's good enough to get Ash into some fun poses. Time to take a look at the accessories, and we get quite a bit. We get an undersized Necronomicon. We do get the tape playback machine. I wonder what that's called. We get the Deadite Ash head. We get Linda's head. We get an axe. We get the trusted shotgun. And we are going to get an alternate right arm part that comes with interchangeable right hands for normal and possessed. And then we are going to get the Deadite right hand that is actually just going to be the hand that does not attach to the body. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Deadite Ash head sculpt, which, yep, looks great. And once again, is going to be using that dot matrix printing. So cool utilization there. It should be uniform across units. This is the only reissue that I've seen. So yeah, it looks good. It's nice and clean, very scary, looks very dead. Cool. That's all I got to say about that. Deadite Linda head, scary, creepy, gory at the neck stump that she has now. White eyes. Don't know really what else to say aside from pretty good. Hopefully in a future release, we'll get the rest of the body. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the Deadite stuff. We're going to take a look at that possessed hand, which, again, not a whole lot to say here except for good details. We can definitely tell that this did come from Ash, though something to take note of, it does appear that the evil hands for this Ash grew in size compared to the normal hand that is supposed to go on that right arm. So, Deadites make you grow in size, I guess. Good job, Necronomicon. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at that alternate right hand part for ash, which you can see a little bit of damage there. So cool. Yep. Not a whole lot to say, except for we can begin to see the turning here. And to swap out the arms, you're just basically going to grab the right arm and you're going to do a little bit of a pull, and then you can pop this arm in. So not really complicated. You can just go ahead and do that. Again, if you need assistance, use heat. The Necronomicon here is small. Actually, as you'll see in the Ultimate Hero Ash review, they increase the size, so hey, something to keep in mind, and if you like one size over the other, then you can use this for a different scale display. Here is the tape playback machine. Again, I wonder if there's a specific name for this, which the detailing is actually rather impressive. There's no paint slop, nothing is broken on this, which I was afraid of popping this out of the package, so hopefully it stays that way for the future. Yeah, generally speaking, this is a home run. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons, which will basically round out the accessories, where we're going to have the axe, which has blood splatter on it. Is that blood? Nah, well, it's Deadite goop, I suppose. And again, dot matrix for all of that goop that's on there, which the wood is convincing for the handle. Okay, cool. And then the shotgun, which, you know, the boomstick, or the proto boomstick, I suppose, because we're not quite at the boomstick stage yet, looks pretty dang awesome. I will say, though, that this Ash does not correctly hold the gun because his left hand is not formed in a way so this way he can put his finger on the trigger. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're fiddling around. Or if it can happen, I guess mine's deformed because his index finger is molded into his hand. Yeah. So for accessories here, realistically speaking, the main reason that I wanted to get this is an Evil Dead accessory set, which NECA, get on that, will you? Okay. All right. Glad we had that talk. So yeah, I mean, basically get everything that you need here. But if you did need other accessories, you know, I got videos to help you out, whether it's going to be for accessory items like effect parts or you need stands. I got your back, Chief. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to a size comparison so this way you can see how big this Ash is, and I did include the Ultimate Hero Ash as well. This is going to be the single boxed release. And as you can see, yeah, he'll blend in just perfectly fine with your other 7-inch or so scale horror figures. And as I did make mention before, this is going to be very similar to the Ultimate Hero Ash. So if you do happen to get that, whether it's going to be the single release or the anniversary set that came in the 2-pack, you can mix and match parts to your heart's content. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Before this had a reissue, prices on the aftermarket sat anywhere between $45 to $80. $80 actually right before this came out. I knew this because I was looking for it, and then it got a reissue and it looks better. I'm real happy. So yeah, for about $30, this is awesome. So if you're an Evil Dead fan, definitely worth it. If you already have one, it's worth picking this one up again because you get another Ash body with that Deadite head sculpt. Cool. No matter what, this reissue is a win-win for everyone. And if you're interested in checking out the Ultimate Hero Ash review, if you're catching this on the day of upload, come back tomorrow where that review will be up as well. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Let's let the credits roll. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for STR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.